All right, guys, the dreaded word discipline, okay? But it's not a dreaded word when you think about it. And it's honestly a beautiful thing, and it's something we all need to have, okay? The coaches that come into this business and from the get go, which you are doing, you are here, from the get go, say to themselves, okay, this is when I go to work. This is when I'm going to do my workout. This is when I am going to be, a dog mom or be on mom duty or be a wife or be whatever. And this is when I work my business. Those are the people that you are going to see a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, forever from now, that are going to be successful in this business. Okay. So I really want to take you back. I want to take you back to when I was working full-time as a nurse, when I first started this business. When I was working full-time, you guys, I was actually working full-time at my job as a PACU nurse, but I was also working per diem still at my old job as an ICU nurse. So I was working 5, sometimes 6 days a week. All right. I was doing call. I was newly engaged. I did not need more on my plate, but I needed an outlet. And that's I leaned into coaching for. I leaned into the vital behaviors, and I leaned into the activities that I knew were going to get me out of that stressful season, that were going to help me keep my vision forward, keep me healthy, keep me focused, and also just give me that outlet, that community that I so badly needed throughout that stressful time of my life. Okay. But in order to do that, you guys, I had to get disciplined. Okay. So when I was working full time and building this business as a new coach, I woke up an hour earlier every single day, hour earlier than I actually needed to be up. That gave me enough time to get up and do my morning meditation. So 3 to 5 minute meditation. And then I'd immediately dive into my reach outs and invites. Like I said in our video yesterday, inviting was my frog. Inviting was the thing that I dreaded the most. So it was the thing that I needed to do first thing in the morning when I was at my most clear. I was stress-free. I was, fully in alignment with my mindset. And I maybe had just listened to some personal development. And I had no fear circling around in my brain. I could just dive into my invites and get them done. And then I'd immediately, while I was doing that, I'd be drinking my go-to juice, I'd be drinking my pre-workout, and then I would go get my workout done for the day. I'd make my superfoods on the way out the door, and on my commute, I would listen to my personal development, right? I dedicated, at least the morning time, my morning commute, to listening to an audiobook, a national wake-up call, or whether it was a podcast. Most of the time it was an audiobook or in the national wake-up call or a training call that I would be listening to on my way to work. It got me into this positive mindset for my day. And then going in the pockets of the time, bathroom breaks, lunch break, whatever, I would respond to messages. I would post on my stories. I would show up and be authentic. I would let people know how my day was going as a nurse. I would let people know, I'd talk about what I was eating. I would, that was when I was able to do all these things that we do as coaches that you see on your activity tracker of showing up and being proof of the product and, putting yourself out there on social media. I was able to do that in little pockets of the day. So by the time I got home from work, unless we had a team call or I had a one-on-one or I had some whatever random thing that I needed to do for my business in the evening, I was able to dedicate time to being present with my spouse. I was able to unplug from 7 p.m. onward to be a girlfriend, to be a dog mom, to be, off social media. Okay. But that took discipline. That took me dedicating that morning time to getting my activities done, my business building activities out of the way. And that way, when I was able to get home from work, before Nate got home, if I needed to respond to messages, needed to get people set up, if I needed to answer coach questions, I was able to do all of that before he even got home. Okay. So this may look different for you, but this is my challenge to you, is to get clear about your schedule. I want you to map it all out. I want you to block out when you have to show up at your job. I want you to block out when you have certain family activities going on. I want you to block out when you're going to shower, when you're going to work out, when you are going to send your invites. I want you to block it all out, because clarity comes from putting it all out on paper, all right? And realizing how much time you actually do have comes so much from that visualization, okay? And your actions, you guys, are truly going to be a reflection of your goals. So this is the second thing that you need to ask yourself. Do you want to be a hobby coach in this business, or do you want to be a runner, okay? Because as a hobby coach, you know, helping 3 people a month, you can do that in working about an hour a day, right? So taking about an hour of your day, broken up however you want to do it, you can probably change about 3 lives a month working that amount of time. Getting your product paid for, maybe making $100 a week, you know, over time, like of extra income, that is totally doable working in an hour a day. But if you are someone that wants to quit your job as soon as possible, or make 6 figures as soon as possible, or pay off a massive amount of debt as soon as possible, then you are going to be needing to dedicate more of the 2 to 3 hour range in total throughout your day. And you guys, that might mean you communicating with your spouse and telling him that when you get home from work at night, that you need to have a half hour, an hour to yourself to work your business, to do those reach outs, to do those invites, respond to messages, to create, you know, content for your coaches or whatever it is that you may need to do, the business building activities, which those are, you know, your invites, your reach outs, your conversations. Okay. But if you are that can totally be done broken up. Like I said, combine that with your morning, combine that in the little pockets of your day, in the time that you dedicate when you get home from work, whenever you get home from work. You can do that, right? That is doable. I was able to do that first year while I was working full time. When I really started running my business about 6 months in, it was a year of that kind of hustle that was able to get me to the point where I was matching my nursing income, and I was able to make that decision to step back from my job. All right. But that's a conversation that you need to have with your coach, right? So I want you to answer these 2 questions, and I want you to do these 2 things. And I want you, accountability is everything. So I want you to send this to your coach. All right. I want you to map out your schedule each week. And I want you to block out the times in which you're going to work, you have your responsibilities, but then block out the time when you're going to work this business. Okay. And I want you to ask yourself, get clear on what your goals are. Do you want to be a hobby coach, or do you want to be a business builder? How big are your dreams? Okay. What are you working towards? Because that is a conversation that we can have to help figure out what kind of actions, how many invites you need to send, how much you need to work in order to make that dream happen. Okay. So I'm so excited, you guys. This is day 3. You are crushing it, and I'm so excited to keep going, and I will see you guys later. I hope you're having a great day.